Node 564560 connected to Node 564562.
Good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the '08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that get together with digital amateur television in the DVB-T format. format. We transmit on 70 centimeters to a crossband repeater at Cougar Mountain, which spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. To find out more about our group, Google WW7ATS. That's Google WW7ATS on the internet. There you'll find a little information about our organization, also the exact frequencies we transmit and receive on. Also, we simulcast the audio on our net on WW7 ZYM. So I'll pause in case anybody has emergency traffic or needs to make a contact before we get underway.
Good evening, Dave. This is James, WU7N. 2 meters only tonight.
2 meters only, James. Got you. Again, welcome to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. I'm Dave, KD7CYM. Signed in so far this evening is Ron, KD7QKU, Lee, N7KC, Jim, N7QO, James, WU7N, and myself, Dave, KD7ZYM. Is there anybody else wishing to check in? Hearing none, we'll start off with Ron, KD7QKU.
Again, we'll go to Ron, KD7QKU. Ron, what say you?
Unable to get any audio from Ron. I don't know what's happening there. Let's try again for Ron, see what happens.
Well, I don't see my picture. I saw my picture real nice before the net started. You see everything okay? Okay, good. So anyway, I don't see myself on streaming either. So let's see here. Maybe I can do something about that. Come on. Well, anyway, so you can hear me, Dave, and see me? You hear me? You hear me okay? Okay. All right, well, I don't know what's going on. I don't see the streaming coming out or anything. Lee hears me. So, let's see. I got 49.8 degrees. It's been sprinkling. We haven't had very much rain. I mostly watched football today. I didn't go to the ham club meeting. So anyway, Joanne went to a memorial service for somebody that she worked with, a guy who had died. It was up in Edmonds, I believe. And so she went up there. And so about noon I was hungry, so I fired up the Corvette and I went out and I drove around a bit, and then I went down to Ruston Way, and I was driving down Ruston Way. And I was hungry, so I got down to the Ram restaurant and I stopped there and went in and had a hamburger. When you're driving a Corvette, I don't feel like I should go to McDonald's. I guess it would be perfectly fine. But it's low for one. My son Mike got home tonight. He got home about 6:30. So he rode his motorcycle for about 10,000 miles and he was gone for more than 30 days. He was on the northern side of Boise today and he rode his motorcycle all the way home. So I don't know, it's 600 or 700 miles. An awful long ride, but he was determined to get home. He was homesick. He'd been out, I don't know, he left September 7th or something and he's been gone for more than a month. So he's home. He was glad to get there. And, so that's about all I did today. So I guess I'll turn it back to Net, KD7QKU here in northern Tacoma.
KD7QKU, thanks for that. Let's move on to Port Angeles to Lee, N7KC, N7KC.
Oops. I'm not getting any, there we go. Okay. Very good. All right. Okay. Well, this is Lee, N7KC in Port Angeles, where we had rain this afternoon. I don't know how much, but it was more than a drizzle. So, I don't know. I'll check the gauge in the morning and see. Otherwise, everything's okay over here, I guess. I've been a little under the weather, but I'm coming out of it now. I had my COVID shot on on the 4th of last month, and I immediately started having problems. But finally we understand what's going on, so looks like I'm probably going to be okay. Yeah. So it's kind of a skinny group tonight. I think I think I heard that James is on, but I'm not sure. But anyway, so I'll say, and I don't know if Covington Jim's on or not. I just don't know. I've only got 3 people on Discord. So, Dave, I heard you fine. You look fine. Same with you, Ron. No problem. Well, listen, we think the prices at McDonald's are totally out of sight now. We used to be pretty fond of McDonald's, but we go to McDonald's now. It's like going to a regular restaurant. It's $20. We used to be able to go to McDonald's for half that, and so as a consequence, we don't go very often. Very, very seldom. And so I think you're perfectly at ease to take your Corvette into McDonald's. I think it fit right in. Anyway, with that, I'll send it back to you, Dave. This is N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles.
N7KC, thanks with that. Let's see if Richard is with us. K7ITX. And apparently Richard's not with us this evening. Let's try Jim, N7QO in Covington.
N7QO. Thank you, Dave. Good evening, everyone. Well, Dave, Ron, and Lee, I have good video from you by way of the television repeater, and good audio from all of you as well by way of both the television repeater and on 2 meters. Ron, Roger, Joanne, and Roger Mike is back. Yeah, that's a long time to be gone. I don't know if it's more that he's homesick or his butt is sore from riding on that motorcycle for that long. I don't know. I don't think I could do. No, I am sure that I could not do that anymore. For that matter, I'm not sure I could ever do what he did. But yeah, that's asking a little much. Glad Mike is safely back. And yeah, I don't know, Ron. I agree with Lee. It seems like going to McDonald's is just too darn expensive anymore. Probably just as well going to a regular restaurant anyway. But I wouldn't hesitate pulling up anywhere in a vet. So that's food for thought. And Lee, yeah, I did see the weatherman on Channel 7 this evening reported Port Angeles got 0.14 inches of rain, and SeaTac, he said, got 0.10 inches of rain. So for the first time in a long, long time, PA is a little bit wetter than SeaTac. Now, having said that, we may get a little bit more rain passing through this evening, and I'll bet during the middle of the night as well. So you might see some more up there your way. I wasn't paying real close attention to the forecast up there, but down here, it's certainly supposed to rain a little more during the night. So let's see, what was I doing? Well, I guess I'll save that for the next go around. Yeah, we have a small group tonight. KD7ZYM and 7QO.
N7QO. Let's go to James, WU7N.
Oh, this is the thunderstorm that went through Sunday night a week ago took down my internet with CenturyLink, which is owned by Lumen, and it was down until I think it was Wednesday or something, and then it came up briefly midweek, and I'm glad I didn't procrastinate. I got all the work done that had been piled up from the 4 days of outage, and then it went down again. And I thought it was the last estimated uptime was Monday night, but I just flipped on my modem, and it's on, and I can hear. I just heard Jim talking there. So anyway, I guess they've got the lightning damage or whatever caused the problem a week ago repaired. So that's really good news. So next round, I'll see if I can come in on OBS and get a picture up. Well, I think, Corvette, you probably should only stop at premium steakhouses unless you're on Route 66, and I suppose the 1950s diners are then acceptable. Lee, I agree with you. Last time I walked into a McDonald's, I just looked up at the prices and I walked out. I mean, my gosh, for that much money, I expect a lot more than what McDonald's serves. But I guess this is the whole problem in the whole fast food industry. I went in with a coupon with a friend on Thursday to the Dairy Queen. Our Dairy Queen in Redmond shut down, but there's a Dairy Queen still operating just west of the Renton Northeast Highlands. So we went in there, and there were two people in there just working really, really hard. But they didn't even have prices up. I guess if you have to ask, you can't afford it. So we had a coupon for like a $2 Blizzard or something. So I guess a Blizzard is normally something like $8, and then with the $2, it was $10 for two 8-ounce Blizzards. So $5 each for the smallest Blizzard you can buy at a Dairy Queen. So I don't know what's going to happen with the fast food industry because it was based on cheap food that's very fast. I think that's why they call it fast food, and you could get sell a lot of it. So I don't know how that model is going to change now or hold up. Let me do a check here for a moment. Dave, can you hear me? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Coming in. Full quieting.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Well, Ron, good that your son Mike made it back. That's good news. And let's see. I've whined about CenturyLink, so tell all your friends, friends don't let friends internet on CenturyLink, owned by Lumen. They've certainly got a lot of improvement. I've got an outstanding complaint with the Washington Utilities Transportation Commission, and then I found out that you guys listening are probably the only ones in Washington State that don't have a complaint outstanding, so you're kind of in an exclusive club. You should be proud of yourself. Today's major accomplishment with the internet down the whole day was chicken soup. I made some, haven't made some in a while, and that came out quite well. So I credit the tutoring that Dave gave me years ago on that. That's what got me through all of COVID was chicken soup. So with that, let me turn it back to Dave, our net control off in Seattle. My name is James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue. Take it away, Dave.
WU7N, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. For me today, the chimney repair finally got done. Just about the time the rain started coming in. So anyway, that was nice to have all the bricks back in place and the firebox rebuilt and fixed. So all new bricks, looks pretty good. The gentleman was saying he'd painted again, but that was probably a problem. My old 80-year-old chimney had paint on it. And everything I've read was you don't want paint on your chimney. You want it to breathe. So anyway, I turned him down on having the chimney painted so it would look like it was originally when he took it down. That's out of the way, and it's got a nice little rain cap on top of it, metal shield. They topped that off. The other thing is I got a little mess in the fireplace interior where they were doing all of the work on putting bricks up and the mortar coming down a little bit dribbles, and so I had a big tarp over the top of the logs in the fireplace. I've got a gas fireplace, and so I had that covering, and so I need to dust that off now that they finished with the fireplace. And when it comes to COVID shot, last Monday I got COVID and a flu shot at the same time, and my arm was unbelievably sore up until Wednesday. So I guess I'm maybe protected here in about another week. So that's what's been going on in my life. So I have Ron with his outing with his little sports car. I think that's fantastic, and looking for something to eat. Last week I went out to eat. Didn't go to McDonald's. I went to a teriyaki place. And I was surprised. It was only $15 for a teriyaki portion. So even that is getting expensive when you go out. So who knows? I'm sure it has to do with supply and demand. And that's what's happening. And Ron's wife out to an event this evening, and his son's back. That's pretty good. And Lee, not liking to go to McDonald's, I can understand that. And understand you got a COVID shot last week, the week before last, it's still giving you a little owie. So that's it. This is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. So I'm going to move it back up to Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, this is Ron, KD7QKU in North Tacoma. I turned down the 2-meter radio. I was listening to Dave on the 2-meter radio. I hope there's no feedback. Well, the hamburgers are a little more expensive down there. They're $15.95, but you get your choice of salad or French fries, and you get a nice big thick hamburger patty, and you can choose the way you want it cooked. I usually get mine well done. I don't want to eat one that's not cooked, I guess. And you can have a beer, and you can look out the window at the water, and the atmosphere is pretty good compared to McDonald's. So anyway, I don't know. Everything is pretty expensive now. So what else have I did? Oh, I bought a couple of new pair of jeans, and then I found a place where I could get them hemmed up at a cleaner's over here on Mildred Street. So on the internet it said that she charged $10 a piece to hem them up, and I thought, okay, I'll do that, because it seems like my legs are shorter than they used to be. I don't know when they did the artificial ankles, maybe they cut off an inch, but the shortest pants you can buy now is 30s, and they're just a little bit too long. I need 29 or 28 and a half or something. So anyway, I carted my new pair of jeans over there and went in, and the lady said it was $12 now, that the old price was $10. So I guess I left them. I had her hem them up. I'll pick them up Tuesday. She said I could have them on Tuesday, so I'll get them back. So yeah, when I go to buy pants, I have a terrible time finding them. I'm lucky if I find my waist size. Gee, many Christmas. I'm 34. I don't think that's an unusual size, but I have a hard time finding them. And if I can hardly ever find the 30-inch links, they never have anything shorter than 30. So anyway, I buy them and they just pile up on top of your shoes. So anyway, what else is going on? Well, not too much. We have crows here. Lots of crows. Crows and raccoons. And we have a fence, so the raccoons don't get in my yard and tear up my grass. The raccoons over here just tear people's lawns up, something terrible. I guess they eat the grubs. But also the crows do. The crows just pick the heck out of your yard. And they hadn't been bothering mine, but then I noticed when I went out to get the mail Saturday morning, that was this morning, that they had tore up the corner of my yard pretty good, so I don't know. I guess I'll have to get out the BB gun and run the crows off. There's too many crows here. I think sometimes you see 20 or 30 or 40. It's just ridiculous. They don't have any natural enemy, I guess. So there's crows all over. And let's see, what else is going on? Not much else, I guess. Joanne had gone to Canada, and I had brought the pickup around. I normally keep it inside the backyard, inside the chain link fence, parked on the gravel where the motorhome was, so I put that in the driveway. But then I've taken that out and put it back. The driveway will hold 3 cars wide. It has, 2-car garage, but then it has a spot wider than the 2 cars, so I can park the pickup way over to the side, and you can get the 2 cars in and out, no problem. I can't get the Corvette and the I get them in together, no problem. but you have to get the Jeep Cherokee close to the Corvette, and I can't open the door of the Corvette to get in it, or you can't open the door of the passenger side of the Jeep. So we can get in on the driver's side. So now we have to pull the Jeep out, Cherokee, in order for Joanne to get in or for me to get in. And if I want to get the Corvette out, I have to pull the Jeep Cherokee out and then drive the Corvette out and then back the Cherokee back in. But today Joanne was on with the car, and so it was easy to get it in and out. So the old Corvette runs really good. Just about everything works in it okay. There's a few things that don't work. My power seat doesn't work, but I don't think it's worth trying to or paying to get it fixed. It's in a good place, and so it's just really fine. All right, enough of that. So back to net, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks for that. Let's go.
N7KC in Port Angeles.
There we go. All right. Okay. Let's see here. See myself. Okay, there we go. I'm streaming, and there all seems to be well. Well, okay. This is Lee again in 7KC in Port Angeles. Well, thank you, Jim, over there in Covington for the weather report. Actually, it turns out that my Tempest weather station says that we got 3/10 of an inch, and I'm going to try to hold the phone up here so you can see what this display looks like. Yeah, it's on my phone, and the little bars there tell you the intensity of the rain, and then the shaded area and the little dots at the top tell you the accumulation. So the rain here today started at about 11:30 this morning, and it's been raining kind of steadily all afternoon, a little harder at times than others. And now it wouldn't be surprising to me to hear that some areas here got 0.14 and others got more, because this place over here is loaded with microclimates. The rain doesn't seem to come through here in one great big swoop. Rather, it seems to be, you know, a cloud here and there rains or something. So you don't get a uniform rain over everything as a rule. Sometimes you do. Sometimes it just soaks the whole area pretty evenly. Other times it's pretty spotty. So, ta-da. And wow, Ron, that's a long ride in one day. When I was cycling, the longest I ever did in one day was round trip Seattle to Ocean Shores and back. And that was just about as much as I could do. I was squirming every which way you could think of on the way home. Closer we got to home, the more I was squirming. And it wasn't that the bike was uncomfortable, but it was just, I don't know, it was just a long time. Friend of mine says, "Hey, let's go." There was a Harley Davidson show at Ocean Shores. So he says, "Let's go to Ocean Shores for the show." And I said, "Okay." We went down to Olympia and then clear across there and up and then back. And my gosh, I was glad to get home. So I understand. And that was just one day. So there you go. Biking for me was always best if you rode a while and then you got off and walked a while and rode a while. And I spent $1,000 on a really comfy saddle for it too. Anyway, there you go. Well, I think that's about it for me. And the time, what time is it? Let's see. I got it here someplace. Oh, it's 8:30. Okay, I'm going to pull the plug and go visit with Paula. She's got a movie queued up, so I'll get down and spend the rest of the evening with her. So thank you, Dave, for running the net. Send it back to you, and we'll see all you guys down the pike. This is N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles. Go ahead, Dave.
N7KC, thank you. We got your 7-3. Let's go to Jim, N7QO in Covington.
N7QO. Thank you, Dave. Well, Lee, if you haven't turned everything off yet, good night. Good to see you. Enjoy the movie. Let's see, Jim. Oh man, internet problems. Sorry about that. That's a serious problem. I do not have Interlink provided by that company, so I cannot say anything about that. Let's see. Oh, I'm. In case you're curious, Jim, I'm hearing you just fine over both the 2-meter repeater and over the television repeater as well. And let's see. You are enjoying, or have anyway, enjoyed their Dave's chicken soup recipe. Good job, Dave. That's great. Dave, chimney has been completed. That is excellent. That cap on your chimney is also intended to prevent critters from invading your house. But somehow Santa can still access your residence. I don't quite understand that, but there's some explanation for that. I don't know what it is. Ron, $15 for a hamburger. Yeah, man. I guess there are several reasons thinking about it why I usually just stick with pizza, which I can share with my wife, and that certainly reduces the cost as well. Yeah, it's amazing how expensive things are becoming, and I can just imagine what it's going to be like 10 years from now. Ron, you are shorter. I am shorter as well. I think with me, it's my back. Some of the cushions between the vertebrae or something are compressed a little bit. Probably spending too much time standing or walking or something. Not sure exactly why, but I'm definitely shorter than I used to be as well. I guess it comes with age. And crows. Yeah, I have a problem with crows around here too. Flocks of them. And there's some guy that wakes me up every morning shortly after the sun comes up. He just starts tapping on my roof. My wife seems to think that he's searching for bugs somewhere, but I'm more inclined to think he knows what he's doing. He's just trying to wake up the grumpy old guy in the house. And then when I go outside, he flies away in the other direction. I've tried going out a couple different doors to see if I can surprise him, but whichever way I go out, he seems to fly in the opposite direction. Sadly, all those crows look alike. I don't know how to differentiate one from the other, so I can't put out a wanted poster for him because they might inadvertently get one of his buddies. But, oh well. And as far as not having any natural enemy, I think the crows have a natural enemy. It's you, Ron, or me. At least that one crow has me as a natural enemy, but he's always a little too fast for me. Yeah, I've got all kinds of critters roaming around the ground here. I've got some neighbor apparently is feeding nuts to whatever is out there, and the squirrels seem to bring them onto my property to eat. Why can't they just eat them wherever they find them? I don't know. But I have peanut casings all over my property, and mostly it's the squirrels that's bringing them in. I do see crows occasionally pecking at the squirrel case, the peanut cases. So I don't know. At least the critters are enjoying being around here. Back to you, Dave, N7QO.
N7QO, thanks for that. And get a quick ID here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. Let's move on down. Pick up James, WU7N. What say you, James?
Come through on 2 meters, WU7N, waiting to see when my audio. All right, it looks like I'm in. Coming in OBS, I see I just popped up on the low latency stream on the QSL.net. So that's working. And my internet modem says I'm connected to the internet via ADSL. So for anyone listening here, the stream is I'm going from my cell phone. I think I'm going via, although I'm coming in through and then going up out 1 gigahertz, which can be received on a dongle. Anyone who wants to try that. Well, let's see. I have a friend down in Kent who has a real problem with crows, and he does various things to them, but I think the latest thing he was trying, he was putting out rat poison for them, and I don't see how that would help any. I just have a real problem. Eats the crows, even if they're sick or injured, which is just birds that would eat the crow. He'll have more crows with rat, and but anyway, you can explain this to people, and somehow I guess it's just it doesn't stick. Lee, good to hear that you're having rain down there. I was able to see your cell phone display quite clearly on the low latency stream. So that's impressive that the camera there could interpret your cell phone and make a really good image there. Jim, I was going to explain the Santa thing to you. As a simple physics explanation for that, as you know, Santa lives up at very high altitudes. That's cold, so cold makes things contract. So that enables Santa to go down small chimneys because he's cold and contracted as he comes down the chimney. And then, of course, he warms up in the house, and that's why, whenever the kids peek around the corner and look at him, he's normal sized. So I thought I'd fill you in on that. Let's see. Oh, and also the pecking on your house. We used to have woodpeckers here. It's been very interesting for me over the last 30 years to see how the wildlife has changed in the green belt behind my house, because I haven't heard them in a long time, but they loved to peck very hard on the metallic chimney, And in the wild, they like hollow trees to peck on because that amplifies their pecking when they're calling for mates. But I guess a metallic chimney is just an incredible amplifier, and they just can't say no to that one. However, I haven't heard that for many seasons now, so I don't know what happened to our woodpeckers. Other wildlife changes in the greenbelt out here. When I first moved into this house some 3 decades ago, we had rats that were the largest rats I've ever seen outside of the Middle East or Asia. They were Norwegian gray rats. But I have not, the last rat I saw was sometime during COVID, and it was out in broad daylight, probably had been poisoned, and the neighbor asked me to shoot it. Which you'll be surprised to hear I managed to do. But I attribute that to the fact that we've had bobcats move in just in the past few years. The raccoon population has come back after a huge distemper epidemic, and we have coyotes. We've gotten pictures of coyotes on the cameras around the neighborhood. So I guess the between the bobcats and the coyotes, they took care of the rats. But I still get mice and occasionally a vole under my house. But haven't heard of woodpeckers. I do hear the owls at night occasionally, but I've only actually laid eyes on an owl one time, and that was 2 that were trying to get together to mate, and they were huge, big barn owls, big, giant things. Of course, they're all feathers, but still very large animals from a distance. So anyway, that's the wildlife report here from Northeast Bellevue. So let's see what else is going on here. I guess that now that the internet is back, my day will be busy tomorrow catching up again. And I hope it stays up throughout the night and continues tomorrow. We'll have to see. But I won't be staying for Afternet of any kind. I'll be leaving at 9. I probably should get at least 1 or 2 things done tonight, just in case it goes down again. So anyway, that's life with the Zimbabwe internet service. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say CenturyLink. Yeah, CenturyLink internet. So that's it here from Northeast Bellevue. This is James, WU7N, and I'm pushing stop right.
WU7N, thanks for that. And get an ID here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 2-meter side. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Boy, talking about putting that rain shield up on top of the chimney, that's a no-brainer. It was about 25 years ago, before I had a cap on the chimney. All of a sudden I heard some peeping going on in the fireplace, and further exploring that, I found out I had a starling that had come down the chimney, and that was a mess getting it out of there. His wings were full of, or I don't know if it was a him or a her, but the wings were full of soot, and it sort of fluttered around in the living room, and I probably had to clean up about 25 little spots around the living room before I got him outside. So that was kind of interesting. And critters in the yard, oh yes, squirrels coming by, depositing the nuts that they want to keep for the future. That's not so bad. Then you got the rabbits trying to dig holes. I don't know why they're digging holes. They're not going to go down into the ground. They just bring up the grass. And then I can thank the crows to a degree. They're helping thatch the lawn for where I have moss. They pick that moss up and deposit it on top of where there's moss and grass, so that's kind of interesting. So anyway, that's what's happening there, and so I'm going to move it back up to Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Dave. I guess I didn't ever say good evening to the group, small group that we have. Well, I went to look to see if I had any measurable rain in the rain gauge, and so far today there's no measurable rain. So it has sprinkled, but that's about it. It could be raining out there now. Let's see, I didn't make much notes. I'm glad you got your fireplace all put back together, Dave. Well, that's a good deal. So you'll be set for another 25 or 30 years. I don't know if I told you guys or not, but I think I broke a rib. When Joanne was gone, the cat was outside, and we have 3 steps that go down from our patio to the grass, and then there's a wooden railing, has a 2x4 flat on top of it. Anyway, she was eating grass, and when she eats grass, she comes in the house and throws up, so I saw her doing that. So then I leaned over the railing and I kind of swatted at her to try to make her move, and I was on my right side, and I heard something pop, and then it hurt really bad, and then it hurt, I think I did it Friday or Saturday, and it hurt all weekend. So I got up on Monday, and it's on my right side, and I like to sleep on my right side, so I was having a hard time sleeping. So I looked at GPT, and I asked him, well, if you broke a rib on the right lower side, should you do anything? And they said, yeah, no, you need to go to the doctor. They said you have your liver and stuff is in there, and so they said that you probably need to go have your doctor look at it. So I called the doctor, and they said to go to urgent care. So there's the emergency room, and then there's urgent care. So they're pretty close to each other. They're up on 19th, up where the hospital is, quite a ways from here. But the urgent care, man, I've been in there once before. It's heavily used, and there's lots of people, and they're usually sick, coughing and gagging and whatever they're doing. So I really didn't want to go there, but the nurse said that you could go to the University Place. So that's about the same distance, and it's all modern over there. So I told Joanne, well, let's drive over to University Place and see if we can find it. Well, we found it real easy. And man, was it nice. A nice, clean building, and the lady at the reception said they had 3 doctors there, and there was hardly no one waiting. There might have been one person. She said, you won't have to wait very long. We have 3 doctors. So in just a few minutes they came and said, come on. So I went back, and it was a lady doctor. She asked me to raise my shirt, looked at my ribs and felt both sides, and said, well, I think it's indented a little bit. I said, if I run my hand down my left side and then I run my hand down my right side. And she said, yeah. She said, well, I think we needed some x-rays. So they sent me to the little x-ray room there, taking some x-rays. So apparently it's just cracked. It wasn't separated. And so there's really nothing they can do about it, except she said, do you want me to prescribe you pain pills? I said, no, that's not that bad. I can take a Tylenol. So I haven't even been taking Tylenol. It only hurts when I cough, or when I lay on my side or lean over. It hurts to put my socks on and my shoes for sure, because you lean down, and when I lean down, that's not good. But I guess it'll be 6 weeks or more, and it'll eventually heal up. So so I guess I have a cracked rib. No big deal. But I was impressed with how clean that urgent care was compared to the one up in Tacoma. Man, like I say, it gets heavily used, and there's always lots and lots of people there. All right, so that's my story. Let's see, how's the time doing here? Well, we still got a few minutes. All right, back to net, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks with that. Let's move on to Jim, N7QO in Covington.
N7QO. Thank you, Dave. Well, Jim, thanks for that excellent explanation about how Santa can access your residence. That never occurred to me. Good information. You mentioned a woodpecker. Yeah, I had one too, and it's like he flew south every winter and then came back here, and in the spring, it's I have this one board kind of up close to my roof. It's probably about 20 feet off the ground. I'm not sure exactly why it's there. I think it's just a piece of trim to make a vent look pretty. But this guy would sit there and peck on this chunk of wood, and it would shake the whole house. And I would go out and I caught him a couple of times. I think I surprised him, and it's almost like it became a game. He would wake me up and then run off whenever he saw me. But it's like when he first flew back up north, he had to come and let me know that he was back. I recognized him. Okay, I can't say I really could differentiate him from other woodpeckers, but it's really funny. As the years go by, his appearance actually changed a little bit, and he did not seem to be as spry as he used to be, and it's almost like he had gray hair. I don't know, it's like some of his feathers changed a little bit, but it had to be that same guy. So, I don't know, these critters have a way of getting to us. Jim, you mentioned rats. Yeah, I saw what I thought, on several occasions, what I thought was a huge possum. It was so big, it was bigger than my neighbor's cat. And I would like to think that it was a possum, but I don't exactly know how to differentiate between them and a rat. It was dark, so it's not like I could see in great detail all of his features. But, wow, big critter. And let's see, Jim, we got good video from you, but your audio was breaking up somewhat on both 2 meters and on the television repeater. It wasn't real bad, but it was definitely noticeable. Dave, you were talking about rabbits. Yeah, I've got a bunch of rabbits here. It seems to me that there are a couple of them. What they like to do is dig what I'm going to call a foxhole, and then they go sit in this foxhole. It's like the bottom half, maybe bottom 2/3 of their entire body is sitting in this foxhole, and there's just the very top of them, and their ears and eyes stick out. Not sure why they're doing that. I would like to think they would go somewhere more comfortable where they might actually have some protection from the elements, but that's what they do around my place anyway. Yeah, we've got coyotes, we've got deer, we've got elk, we've got bobcats. Whatever it is, it's not enough to keep the smaller critters away. Don't know what to make of that. Maybe we need more larger critters, larger scary critters. Ron, cracked rib, man, I feel for you. 6 weeks, well, I don't know, at least it's not broken. It'll be a bit uncomfortable, so you might just have to sleep on your other side for a month and a half. It might take even longer than that. I don't know. We'll wish you luck on that.
Node 5.
Back to you, Dave, N7QO.
4, 5, 6, 2. Timeout.
N7QO, thanks for that. And get a quick ID here again.
Okay. This time I'm trying Wi-Fi data and seeing if I can get through it all. Okay, there I popped up on the screen. WU7N. Okay, so it looks like we'll see if I break up this time. Maybe I just got a little far away from the microphone. That's possible. Okay, so about a 7-second delay, 5-second delay, I guess. This is using data that's coming out of my newly resurrected Wi-Fi network, courtesy CenturyLink. And it looks like it's coming through okay. And when I listen, and I don't see breakups here. So I think probably the breakup was happening just because I was moving too far away from the microphone would be my guess. So maybe before I was using cellular data, that might have also, since it was enabled, maybe it was defaulting to that. And maybe that was causing the breakups. So this is interesting. I wish I knew before if it defaults to Wi-Fi, if it's available. Usually that's how it works, and it uses cellular if it can't get through. And gives you a little pop-up if Wi-Fi is not available and says you want to use cellular on this. So I'm not sure what was going on there. Well, anyway, it looks like we got a couple minutes left. This is James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue. So appreciated the net tonight, a chance for me to test out a few things. And I was just obtained a couple of laptops, and I'm going to try and get those to see if I can run those on at least Windows 10 or maybe 11. And in which case I'll be back on Discord soon. For some reason, the computer that I've been using for Discord I thought was completely dead. It's somehow popped up back to life, but I don't trust it anymore. It has failed me. So we'll have to see how that goes. So let me turn it back to Dave, our net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Take it away, Dave. I'm pushing.
WU7N, thanks for that. And for a final, let's go up to Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma.
Oh my, Dave, that's not fair. I don't have anything to say either. At all, I guess. Put my glasses back on. Everything seems to be working good. I'm getting a nice picture back tonight. It didn't for a minute when we started. I don't know if you guys saw the pictures that Wade sent out on, he texted some pictures out. He was with Logan, his son, at the Boy Scout camp. I think they were down towards Olympia. And he put on a demonstration, I guess, of ham radio for him, and he sent some pictures. They're pretty interesting. Wade's a busy guy, and I guess he's going to go visit his mom and dad, and he was going to be gone. I thought he was leaving like Friday, but apparently he had to go with Logan. That was nice. So anyway, that's about it over here in Northeast Bellevue. It's supposed to rain hard tonight, so we'll see if that happens. Good night, everybody. 73's KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks with that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. And it's time to close up the net. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net, transmitting in digital amateur television in the DVB-T format. And also, we'd like to thank the Western Washington Amateur Television Society WW7ATS 2-meter repeater 14708 with a tone of 103.5 for our audio transmissions. So with that, on behalf of Watts, good evening all. This is Dave, KD7ZYM, terminating the net at 9 o'clock.